And then fast forwarding to the Gospel of Matthew, the Gospel story begins with the telling of a man who comes. His name is Jesus, and the very first prophecy of fulfillment about Jesus is that he shall be called Emmanuel, God with us. The presence of God has come to dwell among mankind. He has come to get us back in that presence. And really, one could argue that the entire story of Matthew is what it means for a disciple to be in God's presence, what it means to walk with God. And so he calls the people back to himself, Jesus, and they have no idea that they're truly in the presence of God at most of the point. And then where we're going to get to, but then we get to this beautiful, what might actually be the climax of Matthew, is the Mount of Transfiguration. Jesus goes on the mountain with 3 of his disciples and reveals the presence of God to his disciples. And they're not killed. And they're in God's presence with him, and he shows their glory. And then he goes and he dies on the cross. And then he raises from the dead 3 days later, and he comes back to his disciples, and he gives the Great Commission, in which he promises to send them out with his presence until the end of the age.